Yeah.
You know?
It was good customer service.
That's
built in.
Built in, exactly. Exactly. And that's something that's missing in a lot of stores today, too. Some of them have really good people working, and some of them could care less, you know.
They also had, I know they had a home section, like with draperies and stuff like that.
Oh,
Did
yes,
y'all?
they made draperies, beautiful draperies, just gorgeous. And the materials, they had beautiful materials for dresses. So many people sewed back in those days. Most people, you know, made their children's clothes, made everything, and did the drapes for the houses, all of that. But they had beautiful drapery. They really did. They had pretty china. They had just about anything you wanted, they had. They had it. It grew from that one little building I showed you to almost that over half of the block.
Yeah.
That's how it progressed. And grew. And it grew because of the leadership and what they had, you know.
Right.
For a little small town like us, it was really a tremendous business to have in town. It attracted a lot of people. Like I say, from out of town. When they came from out of town, they also probably, a lot of them ate here at the restaurants, you know. And because we had good restaurants too with good food, so the business was spread around.
Right. Like that one store helped
Yeah.
the whole economy.
The whole
for Rain.
economy. It did. Plus all the jobs it gave, you know.
Right.
And because when it closed, a lot of people, you know, didn't have jobs after that. And they didn't have other stores to go to work at, which is hard. Unless you went out of town. Because, like I said, we didn't have that many stores in Rain, so they had to be very... It was really a bad time when they closed, for sure. But for most of us, it was a sentimental time. It was bad. So, anyway, is there anything else I can help you with?
Unless there's any other memories or something, anything else you'd like to share about Rain? Or...
Oh, I could tell you, we'd be here all night if I start talking about Rain and my experiences in Rain. Oh, yeah. You know, we had someone who was called the Bonnet Man. That, in fact, there was a book written on it. My brother gave me a copy of it, but it was based on the Bonnet Man here. And he would, like a peeping Tom, you know, but he had a big black bonnet and a big black cape. And I'd hear my parents talk about him, you know, and we were living closer to town at that time and had a gravel driveway that went along the house. Well, in those years we didn't have air conditioning, and so Mother had 4 little beds, single beds, on the back porch where it was cooler, because I had 3 brothers and me. And I couldn't sleep one night. It was so hot, and the boys were sound asleep, you know. And I heard this noise, someone walking on the gravel, and they were shuffling their feet. They weren't really walking, they were shuffling, and I could hear it. And I couldn't imagine, because Mother and Daddy were in the bedroom asleep already, and I didn't know what it was. And I just sort of lifted my head up, and I saw this shadow going by with the big black bonnet and the flowing cape. And we had a gate, just a small gate. He opened the gate and came in. He came to the back door where we were sleeping, and all we had on it was a little latch, you know, like key latch, like the old doors always had. He kept pulling on it, and I was so scared I couldn't yell. It was like I froze. All I could do, I rolled over my brothers, because I was the closest to the door. They were sound asleep. I rolled over and got between them and the wall. And I don't know, I think I passed out from fright. And the next morning I told my brothers and my mother about it, and they said, "Oh, you had a bad dream." I said, "No, I didn't." I was 6 or 7 then. And so they checked the latch on the door, and sure enough, if you'd have pulled a few more times, that latch would have been off. The gate was left open. So he wouldn't have done anything, probably looking for food because it was after the Depression, you know, but in that black cape and that black big bonnet. I was scared. And anyway, the story goes that they never did catch him. They never caught him. Other people saw him. And the story is that we had an old mill down the railroad track a little way. It was a brickyard. And they had a big muddy pond where they'd take the mud out to make bricks, because we made bricks here in Rain. And the story is that they found the cape and the bonnet in that pond, in the dirty water in that pond. Either, they said he didn't drown, they think he jumped on it, because it's right next to the railroad track, that he probably jumped on a freight train and got out of town because people were looking for him, you know. But I don't know, that's the rumor that we grew up with. Oh yeah, but they did write a book about the Bonnet Man, a mystery book.
Is that what it's called, The Bonnet Man? Or
yeah. Yeah. My brother got a copy of it for me since I think they still don't believe I saw the Bonnet Man.
All these years later, and they still like, no, it's not true.
Yeah, and I can't. I guess he believes to a certain extent because he bought me the book, so I guess he does to a certain extent. But all kinds of interesting things going on. I could talk all day about the gypsies when the gypsies would come. I did a feature story on the gypsy camp for the paper. It's just right out of Rain a little bit where they used to camp.
Or
no, not
is
anymore.
Where it used to be?
Where it used to be, they'd come once a year. And they'd camp out there in their gypsy wagons, you know.
Oh.
And it was so fascinating. We'd ride by, because the cemetery where my family's buried was out that way. We'd ride by and see them. But when they'd come to town, everyone was scared to death of them because they speak a language that's really, and they still do till today. And we couldn't go out to play when the gypsies were in town. Like I told you, we played at night and all that. We couldn't do that when the gypsies were camping out. Because the story was they would kidnap the kids and take them away. You know, old wives' tale. But nobody would let out the kids.
What did they do here?
They'd barter, try, and of course the main thing is they'd steal. They stole a lot of stuff. Cows, they'd go kill a cow or a pig or anything they could get, you know. At least that's the story. So they were probably very innocent people, just gypsies roaming around, you know. But that was the story that everyone was so scared of, the gypsies. Oh, I could tell you, we'd be here all night, wouldn't tell you these stories. But Rain was a very unique place. The people were unique, and the best people in the world. The best people in the world.
I think a lot of times now it's kind of underappreciated as a town.
Yeah.
It's just like, it's Rain.
It is. And there's no place I'd rather be than right here. And anyone who grew up during that time that I'm talking about, this is the place for them. Right. I tell them all the time, you can take me out of Rain, but you can't take Rain out of me, because I'm Rain for always. But it's just a wonderful place and so many wonderful memories. And the people are so special. I lost my little brother, my youngest brother, when he was 8 years old. He was hit by a car with a drunk driver, you know. And he lived 2 weeks, but he never regained consciousness. And the people in town, not just in town, all in the area, was so good to Mother and all of us. They took care of us and everything. And that was the biggest funeral, and it was just something I've never gotten over, losing him, because he was younger than me, and the one next to me, and it was just unbelievable. And the people after that have always just been so good they were always good to Mother and Daddy and to us, because they knew what a loss we had suffered, you know. What can you do? Yeah. But anyway.
It's very nice talking to you.
It's so nice talking to you, baby, and I really appreciate you, and I hope I've helped you some
Oh,
to get
yeah,
some
we really
information.
appreciate the interviews and
Well,
just...
like I said, I didn't work at Mervine's, but I spent a lot of time.
Right.
Yeah, I saw it from the customer point of view.
Yeah. And that's good though, because that's what the dynamics of the interviews are.
Yeah. I sure thank you so much.